Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. We are now in February, and to be honest, I am really glad to leave January in the past. It was a bit of a rough month for me, so I am looking forward to this new month, new opportunities, and to reset with a positive attitude and mindset moving forward. Hey guys, long time no see. I have not picked up the camera in a few weeks. I am excited to be vlogging again today. I missed you guys. My original plan was last week. I was in Pennsylvania for 4 days and I was on call all of those days. So I was going to film a flight attendant vlog with whatever trip I got called for. However, I didn't get called for anything. So that's why there wasn't a video last week, but I really feel like I need a reset going into this new month. So I figured I would vlog today and hang out with you. Our apartment complex was nice enough to cater Chick-fil-A breakfast for all of their residents, so of course we had to take advantage of that. And then while we ate, we watched the semi-finale of Hell's Kitchen. We love that show. After that, and getting some work done, we hit up the gym. So today, for some reason, I felt like doing some old gymnastic skills. I did a front walkover and oh my gosh, did that hurt my back. Even though my back was hurting, I decided to do a back walkover and that went much better. I tested out my abdominal strength and did what we called leg lifts as a conditioning exercise when I was a gymnast. Now, I used to be able to do like 20 of these in a row, and now 8 years post-retirement, I can only do a few. Oh, and then I also really decided to test my strength today with some pull-ups. My workout was great. It felt so good to get my body moving again. While we were walking home, we noticed that we had a delivery at our door. Our delivery was from Factor, and if you didn't know, Factor is the best way to eat stress-free with their delicious, ready-to-eat meals. They really make meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering the meals fresh, never frozen, and they're also dietitian approved. These are just some of the meal options that Factor has sent me. I really appreciate how Factor offers different choices for your meals, such as Calorie Smart, Chef's Choice, Keto, Protein Plus, or Carb Conscious. For me, I am really focusing on increasing my protein intake, so I personally chose the Protein Plus plan. With just how busy my schedule is, it really saves me time to have these meals ready to go rather than looking up the ingredients, creating the recipe, going to the grocery store, getting all of the food, coming home, and then cooking it. The sizes of these meals are also perfect for me as a flight attendant because I can very easily fit them in my lunchbox and use them as a really convenient way to meal prep for my trips. For lunch today, I'm gonna have this one. It is the chicken Florentine. This looks really good. Time for a taste test. Yum, that is so good. This sauce with the spinach too is so tasty. Oh, this is like exactly what I needed. Another thing that I really like about the Factor meals is on the back, it has the calorie count, all of the nutritional contents like the protein, the carbs, the fat, everything. So if you are tracking that stuff, it's really easy to do that here. What's also really cool too is Factor offers a lot of different snack items and like breakfast things too, and smoothies and juices, and they actually sent me some of these juices. So we're gonna try this one. This one is apple, kale, and wheatgrass. And that's tasty too. Yum. This is a perfect lunch. Factor does have a really awesome deal for you guys right now. You can head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50Julia to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50Julia at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thank you so much to Factor for the delicious food and for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Luna Luna is the true queen of the couch. Hi, sweetheart. And I love how she has just started to bring all of her toys over here. She has a Frisbee right there that she is laying down on. She has a little fox toy right here, and then she has her other toys right here. You are just too cute. I am finishing up getting ready for the day. I forgot to mention that today is Friday, so Eric is finishing up some work, and then we should be free for the rest of the weekend. But I actually have a meeting in half an hour with an accountant. It's actually a company, and they specialize in doing accounting services for content creators specifically. So I am excited about it, but nervous because, you know, I just hope that it is what I'm looking for, and hopefully I can get some accounting advice from them and that they can help me file my taxes this year. I've used local accounting stuff like in previous years, but this year I just really wanted to find someone that really educated and like knew a lot about accounting specifically for content creators. I have that in half an hour, and then I need to run some errands. I don't think I have a ponytail bump, so I think I'm just gonna wear my hair down for the rest of the day. I don't know if you guys have heard of this brand, but it's called Nutrius, and this is a brand that I have been loving for a while now. I love their body wash, and I originally saw them at Costco the first time. They're a really good dupe for Sol de Janeiro, which is also fantastic, but they're really expensive. And this is their body mist. This flavor is, I guess it's a flavor. This scent is Berry Bliss, and it smells awesome. Ooh, another fun thing we can do today is I need to redecorate my Kindle. So this is my holiday case. I definitely need to change that out. I have some new stickers and a new pop socket, so we can do that later. Speaking of my Kindle and reading, later on today or tomorrow, I'm going to do a review, like a quick review of all of the books that I read in January. But last night I started reading this book called The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Oh my gosh, I have never read anything like this. I'm about 100 pages in, and my jaw has like been on the floor. So far it is eye-opening, it is brutal, and after I finished the book Onyx Storm, I've been in such a reading slump and just nothing is holding my interest until I started this book. So without giving away any spoilers, I'm just gonna read like a brief synopsis of the book. So The Poppy War, which also is a trilogy, is a historical fantasy book based on the Second Sino-Japanese War. It's presented as a coming-of-age fantasy novel where the main character Fang Runin, also known as Rin, also she is like crazy and like a total badass. Like she is just amazing. Like I haven't read a character that I have just felt so drawn to since probably Violet from Fourth Wing and Aelin from Throne of Glass. Like she's definitely giving those vibes. Anyway, the main character defies all odds and gets into the country's most elite military school. She soon discovers she has incredible powers. If you like fantasy, but more specifically the political side of fantasy as opposed to the romance side, I would highly recommend this book for you, but just be warned that it is very bloody and gruesome so far, and there has been some crazy stuff that has happened. However, even me as like a predominantly romantasy reader, I am really enjoying this book. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys about that, and now I definitely need to get ready for my meeting. My meeting was great. It was definitely everything that I was hoping for. So if you are a content creator and if you're looking for tax advice, I highly recommend that you reach out to Cookie Finance Co. because they are so educated specifically in taxes in regards to content creators. So very excited that that went well. And then after my meeting, we took Luna on a walk and just picked up a box of food actually for Miss Luna. So we are gonna try the food company called Spot and Tango. These are the bison snacks. Yeah, Bison Bites snacks. Hopefully she likes these. A lot of you who have been following my channel for a while probably know that we have been feeding Luna the farmer's dog for years. I still stand by that company. Like I love the farmer's dog. I love their company. We fed Luna that food for years, and I like truly believe that it has made such a significant difference in her health and her well-being, her energy, all of that stuff. We actually were feeding her the farmer's dog for like 6 months to a year before I reached out to them to see if they did partnerships, and then I have worked with them in the past. I have nothing ill to say about the company. I love them and I loved working with them, but for some reason their food just stopped working for Luna. I don't know why, but it just stopped working well with her digestive system, and for like months, Luna was not able to sleep an entire night without having to go out and use the bathroom, and it was not the kind of not to be like gross or anything, but it was not the kind of stool that you want to see in your dog. And so for a while we started cooking her own food here in our apartment, and that has gone well, but it is very time consuming to do that. And so I was talking to my mom. Their dog Max was having a lot of digestive issues too, with like different foods that they were putting him on, and he has a lot of allergy issues. So I did order an allergy test for Luna. I'm waiting for those results to come back, but my parents were feeding Max Spot and Tango, and they really liked it. They said Max was doing great on it. So we are going to give that a shot for Luna, and we got Luna specifically the hypoallergenic food. So this one is, it's called Unkibble. It is the cod and salmon recipe. So we are going to follow the feeding guide and slowly introduce this food into Miss Luna's diet. This is not sponsored at all. We completely bought this on our own and are trying it. However, if we do end up liking it, maybe I will reach out to them. Spot and Tango Unkibble is a type of dry dog food produced by the company Spot and Tango, designed to offer the nutritional benefits of fresh, whole ingredients while maintaining the convenience of a dry kibble texture, achieved through a low temperature dehydration process that preserves the natural vitamins and flavors of the ingredients. Essentially, it's a fresh, dry food option for dogs. And what I liked about it is it's made with USDA approved meat, fresh fruits and veggies. It's a dehydration process. There's no preservatives, and it is vet developed. What I like about this too is we wouldn't have to freeze it and then store it in the fridge. You can just store it in your pantry. Gentle, gentle. Good girl. That was very gentle. Is that yummy? Do you like that? I'm out and about now, just running a few errands. The first thing I need to go do is actually make a stop at my bank because I need to deposit a check, and that is because I sold my car in Pennsylvania. I sold it to the Honda DMV and they gave me a check for it, so I need to go deposit that check at my bank, and then that also means that I am on the market for a new car. So what I'm looking for is a four-wheel drive, probably mid-size, very similar to my Honda HRV. So right now in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like a Honda CRV, but I'm also keeping my options open. So I need to go deposit this check, and then I also want to go check my PO box. We are now slowly transitioning Luna to her new food, and I do think she really likes it. As a little Friday date night, Eric and I picked up some takeout and we watched the movie here on Netflix. It was really interesting. It was emotional, a bit sad, but was a really fascinating film about how life changes. The rest of the weekend, I didn't film anything. We just relaxed and also caught up on cleaning and laundry. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, so I am ready to have a great start to the week. Today, I am just catching up on some editing and getting some work done, and then tomorrow I am packing for a trip that I am leaving for on Wednesday. So I know these last few vlogs haven't been super adventurous, and I apologize. Honestly, you guys, January just was a month of like hibernation for me. February is going to be a much more active and better month. I am leaving for a very adventurous trip on Wednesday, so of course I will be vlogging that. But you guys, also over the weekend we got Luna's allergy test results, and I am flabbergasted at some of the things that Luna has an intolerance for that we just had no idea. Okay, so I'm going to pull up her results, and the test that, why isn't this opening? Computer issues. Okay, there we go. So the test that we got for her is called 5 strands. I will put a link to it in the description box below. And I know about this because my mom and dad got the same test done for Max when he was having issues himself. And so some of the things that I was like really surprised about are some of the protein that she has allergy intolerances to. One being cod. Was not expecting that at all, especially since we had just gotten her that hypoallergenic cod food. So we are switching that to the turkey recipe because she doesn't have any issues with turkey. She also has issues with the protein duck, and we were giving her some of these duck jerky treats. So we threw those out, but it does look like too, one that was really surprising to me was carrots. So it says carrots in parentheses cooked. So those are not good for her, which I found surprising. Another one is corn. So corn she has a severe intolerance to. And then what was the other one that was really surprising to me. Oh, blueberries. Yeah, Luna also has a pretty big intolerance to blueberries too. So yeah, some very, very interesting results from this. And so we're definitely going to adjust her food and just hope that this helps Luna continue to live a long and happy, healthy life. Like I mentioned earlier, I did stop at my P.O. box too. So thank you so much to everyone who sent me stuff. I would never expect anything, but it's always greatly appreciated. I do always put my P.O. box address in the description box below. There wasn't a name for these books, but thank you so much to whoever sent these to me. This one is called The Historian. This one is called The Organized Mind, and then this one looks like it's 3 books in one. It's 3 thrillers into 1 book, which is really cool. So thank you so much. I also received this super cute card from Emily, and then I know this gift came from one of my subscribers named Robert. This is a page press, and it says from the library of Julia Jean, so I can put this in my books. So thank you, that was really nice of you. Real quick, I am going to do a review of all the books that I read in January. So some of these I started in December and then finished in January. Like one of those is this one, Bloodguard. I believe I gave this one, I wrote it down, 3 stars. First off, this cover and the spray painted edges are like 10 out of 10. Amazing. So this book follows Leith. That is him right there. And he is a fighter in the Colosseum. And there ends up being a romance between him and Maeve, who is one of the noble women. And she does have magical healing powers. I would recommend this as an intro to fantasy because the magic and the world building was really unique, but not so confusing where you're like, oh my God, what on earth am I reading? I gave this one 3 stars because I didn't personally feel like a deep connection with the characters, and it's just not necessarily like my favorite style of book, but I did still really enjoy this, and I felt like it was pretty action-packed. So if you like the movie Gladiator and if you want to start getting into reading fantasy, I would recommend this one for you. And then...
Don't get my toes in the shot.
Loon. Look at Luna.
Yo, dude, you're gonna work the books looking like that.
Huh?
She licking the books. They're gonna get damaged.
Oh, I didn't even realize she was licking this one.
Yeah.
Why are you licking the book? Luna. Okay.
Go birds.
Go birds.
You want me to take her or what?
Yeah, just because I don't want her to try to eat
Get
my
out of
books.
Here, she doesn't want you.
Oh, don't say it like that. Okay, bye. Oh, and then I listened to Thunderhead, which is book 2 in the, I don't know what the actual series is called, but like book 1 is called Scythe. I've talked about it before. It's a dystopian series. Really good. I gave that one 4 stars. And then I listened to this book called Lights Out, and this was actually one of my virtual book club's pick for January. And oh my gosh, you guys, this book was awesome. The banter was hilarious. It's a dark romantic comedy, and I highly recommend listening to the audiobook because the voice actors were phenomenal. So basically, this book follows Josh and Allie. Josh is like a computer hacker and Allie is a nurse. This book is as hilarious as it is dark. I would say that there is a lot of spicy content in this book, so if that's not what you're into, then I would not recommend this one. Definitely 18 plus, but I thought this book was fantastic and I cannot wait for the second one to come out in June. Oh, I forgot to mention I gave this book 4.5 stars. And then I read The Inheritance Games, and this was a gift from my best friend Tiffany. She gave me this book for Christmas. I thought this book was really cute. It was definitely YA, so I think anybody honestly over the age of 13 could read this. So this book follows Avery, and for whatever reason she is given an inheritance from this man who lives in Texas, and he's like super rich. So he dies and then she's given the inheritance, but she has never met this man before and she has no idea why. So she ends up going to the mansion where he lived that she's now inherited, and she is living in this house alongside with the 4 grandsons. They have to solve these puzzles and riddles to figure out why she was given the inheritance. And I gave it 3.5 stars. I read Bully by Penelope Douglas. I started this book on the beach, which I felt like was like the perfect place to read a romance. And so this was actually Penelope Douglas's very first book that she ever has written. And I love Penelope Douglas, so I kind of wanted to start from the very beginning. And I did really enjoy this one. It follows Tate and Jared, and it is the start of a series. And I gave that book 4 stars. And then I actually listened to this book, A Dowry of Blood. I thoroughly enjoyed this book a lot more than I thought I would. It's such an interesting concept. So this book is a Dracula retelling from his wife Constanza's perspective. And it's basically written as if it's like from her diary too, which I thought was a really cool concept. And I think I gave this book 4 stars. And then I read this book, Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I actually listened to this book on the Book of the Month app. Basically, I would describe it as a slow burn thriller. There were so many twists and turns and different things happening that I just was not expecting to happen. I also really liked the scenery in this book. It was very foresty and kind of creepy, which, you know, you would expect from a thriller. But honestly, I really liked this one a lot more than I thought I would, and I gave this 4.5 stars. I read this book, Phantom by H.D. Carlton. This was a very highly anticipated book for me to read because it was released in January, and H.D. Carlton is one of my favorite authors. So this book is sort of like a spin-off of Haunting and Hunting Adeline. So in Haunting Adeline, one of the main characters, Adeline, throughout the story, she is reading her grandmother's journal that she found. Her grandmother, unfortunately, no, it's her great-grandmother. Yeah, her great-grandmother unfortunately died, and she's reading her journals. And this story follows the romance of her great-grandmother that she's like describing in her journals. So that was like really interesting. This was a like mafia historical romance, which is totally not something I would normally read, but because H.D. Carlton wrote it, I had to read it. And I did really enjoy this one. I thought certain parts of it were a little slow and a little confusing because I couldn't really keep up with the whole mafia stuff that was going on. I gave it 4.25 stars. I have my first 5-star read of the year, and that is The Beautiful Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is book 3 in the Empyrean series. Book 1 is Fourth Wing, book 2 is Iron Flame. Now, I feel like I don't want to do a deep dive into this book because it obviously will give away a lot of spoilers if I talk about what happens in this book. Like, it'll spoil a lot of things from the previous 2 books, but this is a very close second for me in the series. Like, Fourth Wing was my favorite just because it's like what introduced us to the world, and just that book has a very special place in my heart. And then this book is like a very close second, and then would be Iron Flame, even though I've given all 3 books 5 stars. But this book I felt like did a fantastic job of answering questions that we had going into it, while also leaving us with even more questions and like more theories and more things that we know need to happen in books 4 and 5, because this is not the end of the series. There are still going to be 2 more books, but what I will say is the dragons, the lore, the magical systems, the longing, the romance, the politics, the just everything. This book had everything that I could have wanted it to have, and I will definitely be doing a reread of this before the next one comes out, and I just loved it. And then to close out the month, I read the book Rival by Penelope Douglas, which is book 2 to Bully, like it's part of the Follow-Away series. And this book was also a romance, and it followed 2 different characters that we met in the first book, and I liked this one, but I didn't love it. I didn't find it as engaging as the first one for some reason, but also that was a book that I read after this one, which this book did put me in a very big reading slump. Like, nothing else was keeping my interest. I gave it 3.5 stars. Like, I liked it, but I didn't love it. So that is going to conclude today's video. I am so excited to get back into filming my flight attendant trips and my personal trip that I have coming up on Wednesday. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. So just thank you everybody so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to see you again in future videos. I hope that you all are having a fantastic day. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!